Hello YouTube, I am back again. So earlier I was telling you my other part of my CP story. So I want to tell you another part of my story. I want to tell you about my experience with bullying. I know it's exciting to talk about, but if I get emotional, I'm sorry, but I promise myself I'll be strong. I'm sure I will. So this started in elementary school. It always starts in elementary school. So when I first started, yes, I know I wasn't walking great. I was slouching a lot. Kids would stare at me and they would ask me, "What's wrong with your leg? Why do you walk like that? Why do you walk so slow?" Ugh, it was hard. I was called horrible names and I was pushed, I was hit, I was tripped. Ugh, you name it. It's like, what have I done? Why are people treating me different just because I'm disabled? I mean, we disability kids and adults, of course, we want to be treated the same way. We don't want to be treated different. We just want to fit in, have friends, you know, be treated normal. Yeah, and kids were really mean to me. They would tell me, "Go away, leave me alone. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to play with you. You're bothering us." Um, yeah, you name it. I can go on and on. It was like, "Oh, why are you bothering her? Why are you bothering him? Blah blah blah." You name it. I just don't understand. I know that my CP affects my right leg, and my brain was communicating with me a little different. Yes, there were times when I would get frustrated and just couldn't control it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was tough. Like, I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. Even there were some people who are just like me in my condition would always push me away. Like, I'm like, why? Why me? Why am I the target? I felt like I was always the target. There was times when I think it was a sixth grader, yes, it was a sixth grader, pushed me to the ground. And I wasn't hurt, thank God, but I could have been really hurt. And they would just, stand there and laugh. Like, why? I just want to hang out with you. Like, I don't know. And I know people change when they become adults and nicer when they become adults. But some adults may never change. They can still be bullies. Adults are just as bad as kids. Yeah. And I would tell the teacher, so and so is saying this, or so and so is bothering me or harassing me. They'd be like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just ignore them. They don't mean it. Blah blah blah." I was like, "Are you gonna do anything about it? Like, you're the teacher. You should, step up. Tell them, leave this girl alone. She's different. She just wants to fit in." Like, nope. I was told, "Oh, don't worry about them. They're just having bad days, or just ignore them." As I was told, yes, people bully special needs because they're different. We all know that. But I think it was also jealousy. They're jealous of what you have, or they're jealous at what you do. Yeah, I got through that too. Never mind that. It's just an email, and yeah, it was brutal. Middle school wasn't too bad, but there were still bullies out there. They would People would still tease me, it doesn't bother me right now, but I used to hate it when if I hang out with a guy friend, someone would tease me saying, "Oh, you like him?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. Stop that." But I was too young for that. Like, I want to wait till I'm fully grown. Okay, fully grown is not the right word, but till I reach my late 20s or early 30s. You know, okay, not early 30s, but more like in the 20s. So like, it doesn't bother me anymore now because once you get older, you tend to take that kind of stuff more serious. And funny, like when someone gets in that relationship, someone tends to be more jealous because like if they say they wish they have what you have. So yeah, but I still had friends. I solely had friends, and they tend to understand me more. They started to treat me okay. Like it was tough in the elementary school because I was told, we want to be alone. Like we don't want you here. Like go somewhere else. I just felt like I didn't fit in at the beginning, just because I was different. I know people say, "Oh, they don't mean it. They're playing around, or they just want their own space." And now I was thinking to myself, "Okay, I get that, but can't they just can they just treat me just the way I am? Don't judge people by their looks. Judge them by their personalities. You know, get to know them. They may be disabled. Like if you're curious, you can ask them. Sometimes they don't feel like talking about it. You know what I mean? That person. But if you're curious, ask them, what's your disability? Like, how do you cope with it? Like, what do you do? You know, to get on with your day. Okay, that didn't sound right, but try to, ask them in a nice way. Get to know them. Judge them by their personalities. You judge them by their personalities, they might be really sweet and all. Not everyone's nice, though. Believe you me. Yeah. High school was a little bit okay, but I had classmates that would harass me. And yes, like I said, I was hit, pushed, tripped. And whenever I was saying, don't do that, like I could have gotten hurt. Like, and they just laugh at me or just mock what I say. Like, what are you going to do if that person got hurt or can't defend themselves or can't get up and they're really hurt? You're going to laugh at them too? Like, you're going to laugh at them too? Like, yeah, it was brutal. All I wanted was just a friend. A friend to hang out with, a friend who understands. Don't be that person. Like, be a bigger person. Like, if you're being bullied, tell an adult that you trust. Don't do any harm to yourself. It's gonna make the situation worse if you do. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel you. Like, hear the Lord's voice saying, don't do it. You're gonna hurt yourself. And tell an adult you trust. Some may not listen, which is true, but some will help you. You get help that you need. Always tell someone you trust. Like you can tell a teacher, you can tell your mom or any adult you trust. Yeah. Even though I even had classmates that would run off and wouldn't wait for me, and I'd be like, "Hold on, like, can you wait for me? Like, I can't keep up. My legs are not as good as yours." Well, I can run, but I can end up, falling down and hurt myself. So yeah, and then I tried, confronting them, like, should have wait for me. I have a bad leg. And they'd be like, "Oh, I don't care. You don't have any right." Yeah, they just don't care. I'd be like, "What? What do you mean I have no right? I'm just telling you that, I can't keep up with you when you run so fast or walk fast." So, yeah, I mean, even today, like, I try to find a job and I still get discriminated just because I'm disabled. I'm like, they can't do this. That's against the law. Yeah, it's very tough. It's a tough situation because a lot of people don't want to judge people by their personalities. It's always the looks. Like, come on. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, high school was a little tough too. I mean, I would, tell teachers like so and so said something to me and I didn't like it. Some would be like, oh, they don't mean it. They have a bad day. Like, they do say things. I know we all say things we don't mean when we're angry. Sometimes it will make the other person feel bad. Right? You try telling another classmate, please don't do that. I am not in the mood. Yeah, they don't care. They would continue to do it no matter how many times you would tell them, and how many times teachers would tell you just ignore them. I mean, I'm sure it does work, but there were times when I try and it wouldn't work. There were just times when I want to be like, ah, like I want to kill them. Just want to kill them, like, ah. And then after I went to college, it wasn't too bad. I mean, there were some classmates that would harass me there in college too. Like they'd make me do something I didn't want to do. It was like all the schools that I went to. Like they tried to take advantage of my disability. They'd be like, "Oh, do this or do that," and part of me's like, "I don't want to do that. Like that's silly or that's not safe." And of course, I get the, "Oh, I'm not going to be your friend if you're not going to do it." Part of me would be like, "Okay, fine," but if someone dares you to do something you don't want to do, that's not really your friend. They just want to, take advantage of you. Like, it's not cool. Don't do anything you don't feel like doing. Even if someone dares you to do it. Yeah, I was dared to do lots of things, and I want to be like, no, I don't want to do it. And then they'd be like, oh, are you a chicken? Are you a scaredy cat? And I'm like, I'm not, okay? I just don't feel like that's safe. And of course they'd be like, oh, you're missing out. And I'm like, better to miss out than to lose my life or to hurt myself. Yeah. And of course, I also had, you know, classmates that would get jealous of me. And I was a hard worker in college. I was only doing it to make myself proud. And I always put a smile on my face. Like to let, you know, the staff know that I'm happy and I'm ready to learn. I was looking forward to it. And I got good marks. But I had a lot of classmates, well, not a lot, but some that were jealous of me. Like they think I'm doing that to suck up to the teachers. I'm not that kind of person. I do it to make myself proud. Don't worry what other people think. I think the main reason they bully you because they're jealous or something's going on with their lives. I know we try not to take it too personal, but it's more the jealousy. Like they want what you want. Like they want your happiness. They want to do something you do in the school, or they want to have that many friends like you. It's more jealousy. I know, like, I also had classmates that would take their anger out on me when they're not happy. And when I had my moments, because I have bad days too, no offense, they'd be like, oh, what's her problem? Why is she acting like that? Ha! Not the only one, sweetheart. Ha! So, yeah. I mean, after I graduated from elementary school and middle school and high school and college, it was like a relief. Like all the weight was off my shoulders. I was like, ah, like what a relief. I mean, I haven't gone through a lot of bullying ever since I graduated. I mean, I get along with people that I do my volunteer work with. They understood me more. Well, they understand more of my disability. And when I worked at Little Stars, the staff there were also great. And they were told, I was disabled. And I'm sure they taught, well, not taught, but they told the little ones too. They gave me, they treated me nice too. They gave me the nice treatment. I did like working at the Humber Development Center, but I had kids ask me what's wrong with your leg, or you walk funny, you walk very slow. I I just felt like, nobody told them, people are different. And they were taught, yes. You don't get taught that until you get older. I mean, there's times when, kids can be brutally honest, and even even in schools and out of schools, there's they'll find someone to be the target of bullying. I felt like I was always the target. No matter what school I was in, I was always the target. Like people will bully me because the music I like, they'd be like, "Oh, my music's better than yours." It's like they didn't have respect. Like I would tell them, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm so excited." Blah blah blah. And I classmate be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. That's better than what you're doing," or "Oh, that's so boring. Like you're wasting your time." And I'm like, "You don't get it. Just because I do something exciting in my life doesn't mean you have to bash at me about it." Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just don't know. It was tough. Like, I tell my classmates I want to be a kindergarten teacher because I love working with kids. And then they'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to be this. That's better than being a teacher." And I'm like, it's like you don't want me to pursue my dreams or something. Like, I don't know. And the time when I did a test, I don't want to push it. Not push it, but I don't want to be too personal. But as you know, like maybe I would do something to for a job that I was working at for. Like I did medical stuff for at the doctor's office for the daycare I was working at, and that classmate would be like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." And I said, "Well, it was for my job. I had to do it." Then of course he goes, "Well, you should have gotten another job." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" That's also a sign of control. Like, it's like someone wants you to do what um, they want you to do to impress them. Don't impress anyone. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. Okay? Just be happy for who you are. Don't let anyone put you down. No matter what you do, how happy you are, if you're disabled, or even, if you're going through a tough time, actually, like, don't let anyone put you down. Like, it's gonna make the situation worse. Like, just walk away, just ignore them. I know it's tough, but I've been doing it my best too. So yeah, I know. I feel like I was a target of bullying myself. I never experienced cyberbullying, but it was more bullying to the face, like someone saying, "Oh, you walk funny," or "You walk like a penguin," or oh, that was worse, or "You walk very slow," or "You can't do this, you can't do that." You name it. I can go on and on what people say to me. was really tough. Yeah, sometimes, you just want to go with the flow, just pretend like, nothing happened. Don't always let it bother you, just walk away, worry about yourself. That's what I was told, don't worry what other people think, or don't worry about that person, just worry about yourself. Yeah. And if it feels like, and if it gets worse, tell a trusted adult. And I'm sure they will, deal with it. Then of course here comes the, oh, it's all your fault, you got me in trouble, like blah blah blah. But don't ever blame yourself. It's no one's fault but the bullies. They are the ones that caused all this. Don't ever blame yourself. Like, I know. I used to think, things were my fault, I caused this, but never think that. Like, you did the right thing, and you know that you went to a trusted adult, and yeah. And here's my other advice to you. Anyone who becomes friends with someone who's disabled or can't see very well or doesn't communicate as well, here's my advice. Don't make such a big deal out of it. Like, I saw an episode of Arthur when Prunella made a big deal that her friend Marina can't see very well, but Marina was capable of doing things independently. But here's my advice. Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't help that person too much, because that person who is special needs, that person wants to be independent too. Let them be independent. Let them do what they need to do. And if that person needs help, they'll ask you. Only help them when they need it. Yeah. Do not make a big deal out of it. I know I had classmates that made a big deal out of me because I was recovering from surgery and kids would push my wheelchair really fast and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like slow down. And yeah, they didn't think I can do things by myself, but I can. I would get really, really frustrated. And yeah. And of course, I had the staff say to, the kids, she can do that on her own. You don't need to help her too much. Of course, they're going to play the crying game, but don't let that bother you. So, like I said, don't make a big deal. Don't make a fuss out of it. Get to know them. Watch how they do things on their own, how they handle it. They can be independent in different ways. Like, you can see something that you've never done before, and that person does it to help them with their life skills. And yeah, just treat them normal. Don't treat them any different. And if you're wondering, you can always ask. And if they don't want to talk about it, then you can always do research. That's why we have all this technology, right? Do research. Or just ask the parents if they want to talk about it. It's up to them. You don't want to force them. But everybody is independent in their own special way. Me included. Like, I may be disabled myself, but that doesn't mean that I need someone to help me all the time. I can still do things independently. I just gotta, remind them. I can do it. Like, don't fuss over me about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to say you're driving me crazy, but you can tell them, I appreciate you helping me. Like, you need to let me do this on my own. Like, I'm not gonna learn life skills if I can't do it by myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, get to know the person, let them do their own things, and only help them when they really need it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So in my next video, I will see you soon, and I'll tell you more things. Well, I do more of my video blogs, so see you later, YouTube. Bye.